blessing men and women of God. This your main man, Minister David Benton, CEO and founder of Beyond the Fence Entertainment. We want to welcome you to the Elation Honors Pre-Gala Concert. Yes, Elation Honors Pre-Gala Concert, November 15th at 9 p.m., 870 Eagle Road, Brentwood, Missouri. Be there because God is going to show up and show out. Shout out to
Hey, it's your Destiny Coach, Clarita Hatton Jackson, with Blue Flame Moments Radio Show. I want you to make sure you tune in right here to Elation Radio with Kimmy Kim to hear my show, Blue Flame Moments Radio Show. You can learn more about me at Clarita Music on all social media, and tune in to Elation Radio with Kimmy Kim.
Took me a while to get to this place. I'm so glad I'm in this space, accepting all my flaws, embracing authenticity, 'cause there's nobody quite like me. Oh, I like being me. Who I'm created to be, original, not to copy. I'm gonna clap on me, to love again. Gonna celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be. Refuse to give up on me, to love again. Gonna celebrate this life, walk and live. Every trial that came my way, I was searching for a brighter day. That day finally here. That day finally here. Through life's struggles, ups and downs, I'm so glad that I have found the love that's unconditional. Yeah, all I went through prepared me. All God wanted me to be. I'm gonna clap on me, to love again, love me again. Celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be. Refuse to give up on me, to love again, to love me alone. Celebrate this life, walk and live. Oh, it's incredible. This joy is unspeakable. Living life with no regrets. Each blessing was a blessing. I'm gonna clap on me, love again, celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be. Refuse to give up on me, love again, celebrate this life, walk and live. I'm gonna clap, 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 learning to love all over again. Celebrate this life. I'm gonna, yeah, clap, 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 clap for me. Celebrate this life. Clap for me. Learning to love me over and over again, yeah. Clap, clap, clap. I'm gonna celebrate me. Celebrate this life. I dream to see, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Clap, clap, clap. Gonna celebrate this life. Walk and live. Gonna give my life.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Talk Show right here on Relations Radio. I am your host, Chanel Lynn. And this special thanks goes to the lovely Miss Kimmy Kim and Jerry Royce at PositivePower21.org. Shout out to Elation Radio and Elations honors that is coming up. The Elations pre-gala concert on November 14th, and the Pastor's Corner on Elations honors coming up November 15th. Shout out to them, and shout out to Kimmy Kim. Doing big things. Relations Radio is doing big things in the world. For our topic on tonight, we are still talking about the importance of the virtuous woman. Our discussion for tonight is what I like to call girl talk, because we're going to talk one-on-one, and this is radio.
Shout out, Dio.
Discussion. Please excuse the technical difficulties. We're still talking about our series, the importance of the virtuous woman. Our discussion is a Girl Talk radio panel discussion about modesty with two beautiful, spectacular ladies, Miss Tamika Jones and B. Wiley. How are you, ladies?
Excellent.
Excellent. B. Wiley, are you on the show with us tonight? She may not be called in just yet. She may be having technical difficulties. I am not quite sure. But we will continue on anyway, even if it's just myself and Tamika Jones. But I'm glad that you were able to make it on the show tonight, Tamika. This is a really good topic. We're talking about modesty. Oh, there we go. Miss B. Wiley,
I've been on here. Let me know if you can. Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you.
I don't know what was going on. Something happened.
It might. All right. It might be. I think we're having technical difficulties, which did happen sometimes. But we are going to work through it anyhow. I'm so excited, though, and really glad that you were able to make it on the show again with us on tonight. I'm so glad. This is a really, really, really good topic that we have on tonight. We're talking about modesty. And so my first question is, when you think about modesty, what comes to mind when you think about the word modesty? Tamika, let's start with you, Tamika, because B. Wiley, she'll go in. She will definitely go in.
She's crazy.
I know it.
For me, the first thing that comes to mind for me concerning modesty, first thing that comes to mind is dress.
Okay.
How a woman dresses.
Yeah.
And then how she carries herself.
Absolutely.
Not just a woman, but, a male as well. But since I'm a woman, I guess that's why that comes to mind. The woman comes to mind first. It starts with how she dresses, and that kind of says something about what goes on the inside, what her thought processes are, how she feels about different things, maybe how she feels about herself.
That's good, sir.
As in, being or maybe not being modest.
Yeah.
But that term still is something that is, I think it's a relative term. It's something that may not mean the exact same thing to everybody. So I'm gonna stop.
That's true. That's very true. B. Wiley, what's your take on it?
Okay, sister. So when we talk about modesty, like Tamika said, I agree. I automatically go to how a woman dresses. But first, before that, I want to say it can apply to how she speaks. Her words. Is she cursing like a sailor or speaking with a little more grace? And there is nothing wrong if you curse. That's fine. However, you can't be out here in these streets in every situation and setting cursing like you're standing on the block with Ray Ray. So it's about how she speaks. And then when you talk about modesty, I think about a woman who out in the world, carrying herself without bearing it all. Everything isn't in HD. Like the women these days, it's a trend to wear a thong, pasties with a see-through overlay, and go out with your boyfriend or go out with your girlfriend. That's not being modest at all. Now you can't tell the difference between this girl who actually goes to church, she prays, but the way she's dressing makes you think she's a streetwalker. So now we're assuming that she probably is having sex as soon as you walk up to her based upon how she's dressed, because she's not really dressing like she has any kind of morals of any kind. Now, can you judge a person? You shouldn't judge a person based off what they have on. However, let's keep it 100. We are judged every day based off what we have on. I am a certified bra fitter. So I am a jack of many trades, and I have a certification in fitting women in bras. I used to work at this lingerie store in Arkansas, and there will be women who would come in there who'd had a double mastectomy, meaning they had breast cancer and they got their breast removed, and they had to be fitted in for bras. And then you had women who would be young ladies who were in training bras, and then you have the ladies in between. Some women that came in there weren't modest at all. You're in that fitting room with them, and they just strip down. Here we are. Hello. And then you have other women that I like, because me personally, I would consider myself more modest. I'm not out here just bearing my body and my boobs and my butt and everything for the world to see. I would prefer to step out of that dressing room, and then she can do her business, and I'll come in and see how the bra fits. So that's just an example of how some women, and they could be from teens to in their 80s, who would be not necessarily modest. And it's just contingent on the person. But modesty to me is all about how you dress, and as well how you speak, and how you're speaking, whether it's vulgar or you're speaking like you in church. So there.
And both of you just made me think about how, a lot, because attire has a lot to do with modesty, man. But on the flip side of it, there are women who dress modest, but the things that people witness them doing, behind closed doors is very what's the word? Unmodest, immodest.
Modest is the word.
Say it again, B. Wiley.
Bodish. Thotisa. She has some thought-like tendencies, but modest behavior.
Right. Exactly.
You're crazy.
Absolutely. And so when I think about the word modest, on the flip side of it, it has everything to do with your character. And like Tamika said, it has everything to do with how you feel about yourself. But I think that modesty, needs to be taught as well, because a lot of women could be modest on the inside, but they don't really understand what it means to be modest, or even why. So my next question is, why do you think that a woman should or should not be modest? Like, what could be the cause or the effects of being modest? B. Wiley, we can start with you with this one.
Okay, we're going to go with me. All right, I think women, at the end of the day, I think women should be whatever they want to be. However, there's a fine line with not being modest, and like I said a second ago, looking like a streetwalker. I think that women should leave something. I also think that women should leave something to the imagination. However, this generation that we're in now, nothing is being left to the imagination. Everything's on social media. Everybody's naked. Everybody's trying to keep up with the Nicki Minaj's and the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions, and all you see is butt everywhere. So if a girl is modest, she may not feel like she'll fit in if she doesn't dress on a less modest scale, because I can't judge anybody for the way they dress, whatever they're comfortable in. However, I do know that these days that being modest isn't what's the word? Popular. It's not popular to be modest.
Yeah.
It's more popular to look like you about to get on the stripping pole and strip and do striptease. So my thing is, when it comes to modesty, if you're going to show some leg, here's my thing. If you're going to show some leg, your top half shouldn't be exposed. You got to have balance. If you're going to show a little cleavage, because there is nothing wrong with being sexy and sophisticated and showing a little skin. So if you're going to show cleavage, your legs shouldn't be exposed. And this is my opinion. This applies to me. Now, if I have a homegirl that want to, well, you know what? I ain't about to say that, because if I got a homegirl who's about to just show it all, and she's just not my homegirl. Like, I'm not even about to kid. So, typically, when you see these women dressing a little scantily clad, it's a group of them. And then you see another one that isn't dressed like that. They're more covered up. They show a little cleavage here. It's a group of them. So, regardless of you modest or whatever you are, do you, but be mindful of the vibe and energy you're putting out there. Me personally, I'd like to leave, like I said, leave more to the imagination, because if a dude, and it's not all about men, however, if you're single and you listening and you wonder what I need to wear tonight out on a date, you definitely don't want to have your butt exposed on the first date versus have it on a cute little skirt and a top. Because if your butt is exposed with a see-through overlay, guess what he's going to be trying to do after he take you to Applebee's? Because that show where you going, he ain't got to spend no money on no date if you dress like that. So based off your outfit, he will treat you accordingly. So I think it's all about the woman at the end of the day, whether you choose whatever you want to wear, but just be ready to deal with the repercussions when you go out with a thong and pasties on, period. So that's my point on it.
Absolutely. Tamika, what's your take on it?
I think a lot of it is in the way you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
As far as for what you think modesty is or is not. A lot of I know, like she was saying, our younger kids today, they don't have that same sense of being covered that I was brought up in. They don't have that same sense of it. By the same token, now I was raised to not. You don't show cleavage. You don't have your arms all out. Your skirt needs to be past your knees. You need, all of this kind of thing. Now I was raised there.
Yeah.
Now I don't think dressing like that is. I don't call that modest. I don't. I call it. It's a little weird almost. I mean, people do it, but I wouldn't even call that modest. That's like another extreme. But,
and you bring an interesting point, because I'm thinking, because while you were talking, when you began to talk, I was like, I wonder, where did it and why did it change, from back in the day, the attire that women wore, and even how women carried themselves is totally different than how women today, dress and carry themselves. And then just thinking about, the effects of, a woman's character, your normal, your normal woman, when you walk outside, even when you turn on the television, the things that we see, even especially the behavior, of women, how we treat one another, or how we treat a relative, or how we even treat, a significant other or a spouse is totally different, than back in the day. And so now, so you said that it was kind of weird, Tamika, right? That, that women kind of dress. What was it? The long skirt?
Yeah, the long skirts.
Now see,
long
sleeves.
Oh wow.
In the summertime,
yeah.
Oh Lord.
You don't need your toes. Your toes shouldn't be out.
You shouldn't be showing. Now, why though? Why? I mean, like, why do you think that was? Huh? What'd you say, B. Wiley?
I'm wondering, is that for religion purposes? Because I know Pentecostal.
Yes.
I know they tend to wear. Oh, okay. Well,
okay. So, but my question though is, why did they? Why do you think that that's what they that they were teaching that you don't show, your cleavage, you don't show your legs, you don't show your. Why do you think that was what they that they said? Because I don't know. Do you sometimes think about why?
It was a religious.
It was a religious thing.
It was a religious thing, but behind it,
yeah,
it was that a woman should be covered.
A woman should be covered.
A woman should be covered, and a man should not be able to see, your breast line or where your hips are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't see your knees. Knees are sexy to a man. I don't know who told him that, but a man doesn't need to see your knees. He don't need to see your toes.
Mm-hmm.
He don't need to see your upper arms. You don't want to dress in a way that would basically make your body attractive to a man.
Sexually.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was the whole premise behind that. So I don't even call that modest.
That's more like a nun. Like a nun to me.
It is.
And so, but okay, so
that's what they did call that. That's what they called it, though. You dress modest. You need to dress modest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And looking at because I do my own mental, research. On I do mental research, mental observation. Come with hear me now. Come with me. Mental observation, mental research. Be what it said. And I just think about how a lot of us today we really are being kidnapped. A lot of us are being raped. A lot of, especially teenagers and kids, are being molested, and so on and so forth. And I've really, I've gotten to a place just in my own mentality, just observing men, because I'm at a place in my life where now I want to find out why. Why was this said? Why was this taught? Because I feel like if we don't reach back and figure out the cause, we will never understand this effect that we are going through now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I'm learning that men really are extremely sexual beings.
Yeah.
And so looking at while our knees are not sexy at all, but some men will look at your knees and try to visualize what's and have you ever
close are her knees together?
Right.
How far apart are they?
And so it's like while some of us are okay with men fantasizing, about us in that kind of way, in a sexual way, there are others of us that we don't want men, to look at us like that, and some of us would wear certain things that are very provocative, but then we'll get mad when a man, absolutely, when a man comes and says something, he approaches you in a sexual way, you get upset, and then you like, well, I can wear what I want to wear. Well, that's the consequence. Absolutely, just because you wear what you want to wear does not mean you can avoid the consequence that comes behind that.
Right. That's right.
Woo!
Yeah.
So my next question is is there a such thing as false modesty? Can you give an example?
I had never heard of that until you mentioned it earlier today. I was like, what is she talking about? I don't even know what that means.
False modesty.
So,
Tamika, go ahead. Tamika said, of course there is.
Yeah.
Well, come on, Sister Teacher, then.
False modesty is basically when you present yourself as someone that cares about what other people think as far as your dress. You know, you may dress, you know, with a nice suit on, you know, not revealing a bunch of stuff, you know. But as soon as you get the attention that you seek, then the real hood rat stands up.
Twerk. It's time to twerk. Twerk team is ready. The hood rat. That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Right, and then a man be like, wait a minute, I've been hoodwinked.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God.
I think false modesty is the same thing. It's not the same thing, but akin to false humility.
Absolutely. You onto something there. Go ahead. Stay in that vein. Go ahead.
It's akin to it because you would use that the look
to bamboozle. He bamboozling folks.
That's right. Matter of fact, I was watching a show recently where the situation was there was a lady that they were at a bar, the lady and the man were at a bar. It just happened to be that he sat down at a bar beside this lady, right? She was very pretty, very attractive, dressed nicely, you know, not revealing or anything. She started talking to him, you know, got in his head real good, you know, talking to him, got him to leave with her, took him to a hotel. She drugged him, took his money, took his police badge, and then went back to the people that had hired her to set him up.
Wow.
So she looked nice. She looked, you know, she was dressed nicely. She was dressed as someone that he would be attracted to. Had she had you know, some other, you know, like you said, the like they wear the bra now with the see-through top.
Yeah.
You know, if he had something like that on, the kind of man that his character is would not have chosen, would not have talked to that type of lady that was sitting there with that on. But because she was dressed modestly and looked nice, he talked to her, and that's all it took for her to reel him in and then do what she was really there to do.
Wow.
You know, so that I think that's a good
example.
That's a good thing of what, example of what that false modesty is.
B. Riley, can you give an example of false humility?
Girl,
or false modesty?
Let's see. Girl, probably not. But I can tell you this: when we talk about false modesty, I guess that would be kind of similar to a man being a manipulator. Here he is. I can give you an example of that. I can give you an example of a man with his false modesty. He'll show up like he king tut and so respectful, and I'm going to open your door, and I'm going to take you out, and I'm going to talk to you like I got some sense, and I'm going to read some scriptures, and I'm going to send them to you by text message because I know you go to church, and you a lovely lady, and I'm going to engage with you, and I'm going to look you straight in your eye, and I'm going to do this for a few months, and then I'm going to get to your house and then pull my penis out. Because guess what? We behind closed doors now. We behind closed doors. So here's who I really am. So I think that it goes with guys that they can have, they're manipulators, not all guys.
Absolutely.
But I think when it comes to guys, they're false modesty because they all respectful and cheesing and quoting scriptures and being respectful and get them to the house and trying to Netflix and chill and all this nonsense. What happened to the scripture you just sent me this morning, sir? What happened to the book we read called The Wait, sir? What happened to that? So that's my example. As far as as far as women, I think when women are being this false modesty thing and they're using that to lead with, I think that they just don't know who they are, and they're thinking that they have a standard to live up to because they think that other people will judge them for being who they are. And even if you're not modest, doesn't mean you're some kind of whore. That doesn't mean it at all. But I do believe there's an abundance of women out here carrying themselves in one way. The next thing you know, you get back behind closed doors and we twerking within an inch of our life. So, and swinging on poles and chandeliers and got booty shorts on and ready to go.
And married, not the least.
Or we come off, we get on online, and then we meet a guy online, and he ain't trying to even have sex. This is a true story. I have a friend, a good guy friend. He was online. He was not trying to pressure this girl. He met her for the first time. Listen to me when I say this. The first time he met her because the conversation was great. He thought she respected herself. She was hard working. She took care of her kids. Guess what she did when they met the first time? They were sitting right next to each other. She got on her phone. They weren't even talking about sex. She got on her phone and sent him a vagina picture sitting right there out of nowhere. So what is she doing? So she got him over there acting all like church-going woman, working hard, just looking for a husband. Yeah, you first meet this guy and your vagina is out. Like, what? Who does that?
See?
But there are a lot of women who are doing that these days. That's crazy.
Absolutely. See?
I wish I would.
See? And then you just brought my mind to how both men and women in the church are this way.
Yeah. Girl, don't get me started.
And, you know, they... She said, don't get that.
I'm not even kidding, because I'm trying to tell you something. The men, the last two people that I like, I ain't even going to say what year or whatever, but the last two that I liked were heavy in the church. And when I say they were the master manipulators that I've ever seen. The first one was about, on a scale of 1 to 10, he was about a 5. And I thought I was distraught on a 5, but the devil said, oh, no, sis, you didn't learn your lesson. Let's step it up. So the next one was off the chart. And when I say he blew my whole wig off my head and down the street with his nonsense and his shenanigans, I was like, okay, God, I see you. It just taught me. These master manipulators straight out the church. No, I'm good, God. I do want a God-fearing man. Let's not get that twisted. However, he don't have to be fresh out of the pulpit. He can go to church and be cool. So, yeah, that's just my personal story, because they the ones I met at the church. And I've actually been in church as a teenage girl, and it was a bishop in that church during church service looking right at me, trying to tell me to go out back and meet him. And we're in church, literally. And I said, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm cool on that.
Absolutely. And so I really, this is really heavy on my heart right now. You just made me, oh my goodness, because it's really sad. You know what I mean? It's really sad because a lot of people claim to, have a relationship with the Lord, and they are so quote unquote anointed and quote unquote so spiritual, and they portray to be so humble and so full of humility and so, heavy in the church and so on and so forth, but the moment that they can, get to know you, on a more intimate basis, then all of a sudden, all of that humility, all of that love of the Lord and all, so on and so forth is just flying right out the window. And there's too many cases like that for it to not be or not raise concern,
Yeah.
And so it just makes me think about, how serious it is to really think about how serious life is and how serious and final death is. Because however you live your life will determine what kind of consequences you may have after you leave this life. And this is something that I think that nobody really thinks about. You know what I mean?
I think about
and
it.
it's like,
I think about it.
yeah. And you
I'm
know, with
scared.
my own, huh?
It make me
What you say,
scared.
Dee?
He wanna all these men who following their flesh. I ain't following my
Absolutely.
flesh because I ain't trying to get no outside baby. I don't want AIDS. I don't want
Thank
to get killed by your wife. I think about the
Right.
worst case scenario.
Yes,
That has
because
kept me out of
yeah.
trouble.
It happens
But folks,
all the time now. B. Wiley, you
well,
are so
folks,
right.
it's
It
following their
happens
flesh.
all the time.
They meeting to do at 6 o'clock. At 6:17, we in the bed and we getting it on, and we ain't using no condom. So that's just where we're at right now because people
And
are
speaking-
following their flesh.
Yes, and speaking of that, B. Wiley, do you know that St. Louis, they said that 1 in every 10 people have contracted HIV? This is how
Oh, Lord.
widespread HIV
I didn't know that.
is in just St. Louis.
Wow.
I don't know about that. I don't be fooling around here in this little. I ain't from here now, but still. That's what I thought.
You know what I mean?
That's
I
crazy.
find these things out because I'm always trying to find out, even in politics. I'm not a political person, but I always want to know what's going on because I need to know what's going on in the world around me because this will affect how I live and my children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm
Heck yeah.
always doing. Yeah, I'm always.
Are you there?
Whether it's false or not, I need to know this. I need to know what information is out there because, doggone it, I cannot fall victim to things that I do not know when I should know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And
Exactly.
Life is very, very scary nowadays. You know what I mean? And
I just
so
think
it
we just need to be more educated. If we get more educated on these STDs and getting pregnant and birth control, because folks acting like birth control ain't free. It's free for me, and I ain't on WIC. I ain't on housing. I ain't living off the government. And guess what? I get free birth control. Now, come on. And I do know.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. Stop having sex and you ain't married. That's what I'm gonna say because here's my thing. And this is only this is my opinion. Then there's that, right? Which is, but here's my thing though, because from my own personal experience, you guys, like seriously, like 4 years ago I used the NuvaRing,
Yeah.
and it was fairly new at that time, and I had gotten pregnant. After that, I had no idea that it fell out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so I popped up pregnant, and then I almost miscarried my baby. I was bleeding heavily. So long story short, hallelujah, she's here. She's 4 years old now, but she definitely is a miracle baby. I find out later, and even in the conversation that I had with my boss, Kimmy Kim, that, they found out that the NuvaRing was actually making women sterile.
Girl, that's
and
great.
Also causing, yes, girl, and then also causing illnesses. So it's like the things that we put in our bodies nowadays because we have no idea what the government is doing nowadays with the food, with birth control, Say that again, Tamika.
That could be one thing that they try to do to control the population.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that is happening. Things like that is happening in our country, but it's undercover with stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Blatant and known in other countries that, hey, if you have more than 2 children, that third one is taken away at the hospital and given to someone else.
Lord.
It's the rule of the land. That's the way it is. You better not have no more than 2 children. But, of course, we live in a democracy, so there's no way you can have any kind of, legislation like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it stands to reason why something like a NuvaRing would make women sterile.
Yeah.
And that not be something that's publicized.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that we have to watch out for.
Yeah.
And even though when we're talking about modesty. I'm thinking that modesty can even have something to do with our thought process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Modesty meaning that you have to. There are things that you need to hold sacred. There are things that you need to find out. You need to know, and you need to apply them to yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
But if, like you were just saying, if we don't know stuff, if we don't know about it, then we can't do anything about it. We can't apply these situations. We can't apply the knowledge to our lives if we don't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just as important. The way a woman dresses says something about what she knows and what she does not know. A lot of these, like earlier we were talking about these young kids and stuff. A lot of them just don't know any better.
Nope.
They don't know any better. So they do what they see on TV. And a lot of these, the performers and stuff. Okay, Beyonce wears like little leotard type things all the time. That's for stage. When she's out, she's not dressed like that.
Right.
She's not dressed like that when she's out. That's her stage stuff.
Right.
but she don't dress like that at other times. That's not who she is. So, but these kids, they don't know any different than that. Some of them, they don't know any different. So, along with being modest, it has everything to do with what you know and what you don't know.
And then I'm thinking about too is like, because it's so dangerous nowadays. Life itself is so dangerous out here nowadays. I'm finding that it is much safer to do things the way the Creator said to do it from the very beginning. I mean, from marriage on down. Back in biblical days, they had, they didn't go through, the courting and all that. I'm thinking about like Ruth and Naomi, or no, Ruth and Boaz,
Yeah.
when they met and everything, a lot, marriage back then, I think, they didn't date. If they wanted to, be with each other, they married, just off the, and that's how it worked back then. But it's like nowadays, people, have a lot more freedom, and it's, let me test the waters and see if I like you. But see, because with that freedom comes so much lawlessness. That's and with all this lawlessness, the consequences are horrific. And it's unbearable. That's why we have all these STDs that are spreading, and all these, single parent homes. I mean, a lot of us, especially in the Black community, we're suffering from single parent homes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because, it's just lawlessness is just rampant, and especially in the church, the people who are supposed to be, representing, our Creator's law are the ones who are the most lawless.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of people who are out here just flat out lost and don't know what to do, and they're just going off of what they think is right.
Yeah. Reckless behavior, because there is no order and there is no structure in their life.
None whatsoever.
I don't know if the daddies ain't there or the mothers don't care. Or maybe the mothers are just out here just in thongs and pasties. So they just follow what they see. So I don't know. But all I know is the whole flesh thing, if more people would listen to their quiet spirit, because the spirit is quiet and the flesh is loud and proud. And there was a guy that I talked to the other day, and he asked me, because I'm single, and he was just like, well, what do you do? What do you do? And what he's getting at. What do I do when I get quote unquote on earth? I said I pray it away.
When you get horny,
that's what I
do.
Yeah, I said I pray it away, and he said, "Oh, you one of those." And I'm like, "What a what?" I mean, why do I want to put my body on the line for an STD, an unexpected baby at almost 40 years old, because I know I'm fertile, I'm young. And out here with a dude exchanging these soul ties with a dude just because I want to have a little fun for 30 minutes or less. Like,
say that, B. Wiley. Say that.
I just look at the bigger picture. It's not that
absolutely.
serious. And I had to break it down to him. I said, even though I am single and sexless, guess what? I don't even think about sex. It's so far on the bottom of my list because what I'm focused on is me, my brand, my body, my child, getting my money, getting my wealth. Why would I be thinking about having sex? What is sex going to do? Where's my husband?
Right.
Hey, Jesus, where's my husband? So,
right.
I don't know. It just blew my mind that he was trying to almost talk me in to having sex with a random person. And I was just like, that is way too scary for me. Because there are serial killers, there are psychos, there are rapists. So who am I supposed to have sex with? Like, I got to pick out of that? Are you crazy?
Right. You're so right. You're so right. You're so right. And I just want to give a snippet of a testimony. I guess I don't even like that term. I don't know what else to call it.
A testimony? I like testimony.
Church condition.
Girl, I rebuke it. Anyway, so
he is cracking up.
When my husband found me, I was in a place. He found me, girl. When I say he found me, he found me. Seriously. I wasn't looking, okay? I wasn't looking for a spouse, even though I desperately wanted my husband. I figured that maybe my husband would be in the next life because I experienced so many losers. You know what I mean? That's why I can relate so much to what you were saying, B. Wiley, last time when you were on the show and you were giving, your experience and everything about dating. And so I was in a place in my life where I was tired, and I was like, lost at the time because everything that I thought that I knew that was the truth, I had found out that it was false. And so I really was searching for a truth. I was searching for our Creator's wisdom, His knowledge, His truth, and I was at a place of desperation spiritually because I knew that I was still here for a purpose, and I knew that that purpose that I thought was my purpose was no longer actually my purpose. And so I'm like, I'm a huge believer in fulfilling whatever it is that El Elyon put you here on this earth to do, because I never want to have to think about what if I stand before the one that created me and I did not do what he put me here to do. And so, my son's dad, my wake-up call was when my son's dad was murdered in my face and I could have been next. And so ever since then, that was way back in 2005 or something like that. Ever since then, that's what journey I have been on. And so here I was in this place in my life where I felt like something was going to happen to me because all the hell that was going on in my life, and I was weighed down, burdened down, and all of that. And I was praying. I'm like, you know what? I said, God, please help me. Because I no longer know what your truth is. I said, but I want to know. And I'm like, please don't let me die and go to hell. Please help me fulfill my purpose. And I'm telling you, boy, girl, I'm ready to throw this pen. What I mean, El Elyon definitely answered my prayer. And when my husband found me, it was nothing like the flesh. It was nothing about lust. It was nothing about even love. It was all about the truth that I was looking for.
Yeah.
And when we spoke on the phone, he said, wait a minute, your voice sounds familiar. This man never had a conversation with me before in neither of our entire lives. This man said that he met me in a metaphysical world.
Girl,
this man knew what color car I drove. He knew how many kids I put in my car and the order I put them in my car. He even recognized my voice when he heard my girl. I'm ready to throw this pen. I ain't lying.
That's amazing.
Baby, listen. Our Creator is all about purpose. It really ain't about us. It's about what we can do to reach somebody else in our community or in our nation, or even if it's just in our family or our friendships and how we deal with one another, how we help one another. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I really feel like if you are a woman that is after purpose, your husband should also be after purpose as well. And because of your purpose, Elian will definitely cause the two of you to meet, but not before you are ready. You know what I'm saying? And open-minded to whatever your purpose is.
Yep.
Girl, I just wanted to share
That's
that.
awesome.
I just felt that down in my gut.
That's awesome. Girl, that's great. I ain't never experienced nothing like that. I done experienced,
and I'm
hey, let's
praying
go
that, you
Netflix
know what?
and chill.
Honey, and when I say I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna, because I want that experience for every woman that I ever have a conversation with, any woman that ever comes across my path. Because when I say there is absolutely nothing like it on the face of this earth, baby, there is absolutely nothing like. Oh, baby, when I mean the love, this man loves God. Do you hear what I'm saying? He loves Elian. Prays all the time. Prayed for me. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
he was like, he told me, I prayed for you before I ever even met you.
Yeah. That is awesome when a man prays. That is great. I love that.
And not only that, he told me, he said, I want to make sure that you know that we're not going to have any alone time and we are not married. And he said, I'm not coming. I didn't come to you.
Where did she go? Hello? Uh-oh. Are you there? She got quiet. Crap. Hello? I can't hear anything.
Wanna share my soul,
This is for men, this is Ali. This is for men, cause this God breathes. Yeah, the Holy Spirit, hope you hear it. Things look clearer when you look in the mirror. Walking down the valley cause he led me. Fed me from the pages with the red ink. Translated for my boys with the rock ready. Heat under the seat inside the box Chevy. Listen man, I was asleep, I was dead. Been transformed, I'm a sheep, now I'm led. Away from the edge, gotta do what it said. You're not tuned in to the bed. I got soul. He gave me so much soul.
He gave me too much
soul. I'm just a king with a dream. So it seems on the Lord I'ma lean. So you got soul. We got soul. I finished breakfast, now back to the message. Let's take it way back to my mama's Lexus. In 96, I let it knock just for the beat. It was a beast, tan brown with butter seats. I'm far from my hermit, drive with just a permit. 15 and swerving, all I got to learn is a little big and pop. Say what teach. I play Marvin Gaye through the Maywood Street. What's going on is not a secret of mine. The good Lord said if you seek you would find. Fast forward years, I'm the preacher in line with rhymes that can speak to the time. I got soul. He gave me so much soul.
He gave me too much
soul. I'm just a king with a dream. So it seems on the Lord I'ma lean. So you got soul. We got soul. And the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. And he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became What it become, man? A living soul. That's right. Yeah. But no sweat, call that summer me. I'm fly man, winter, fall, summer, spring. Young boys call me old school. They say I'm so cool and I'm no fool. They like the perspective I seem to bring. I guess that's how it is when you sing some things. Cause I've been high, atop of 10 terraces. I've seen men die, seen men perish. Still never losing focus, of course. My eyes on the throne, my hopes in the Lord. He gives keys that can open the door, and he's about to open it more. I got he gave me so much soul. On the Lord, I'ma lean.
I got so much soul.
One of the most amazing things you can witness is a beautiful woman of God. So I wrote this song to my ladies, and it go like this. All the ladies stand up and get your hands up. If you know you're beautiful, then go ahead and clap it up. Go on and clap it up. Go on and clap it up. I tell you it's your song, go on and clap it up.
Welcome back. We were in the middle of talking about the importance of a virtuous woman, and we were having a girl talk one-on-one panel discussion about modesty, and the important, why or why not is it important to be modest. And on the show we had we still have Tamika Jones, and I hope that B. Wiley is able to call back in. B. Wiley, let me know if you are back on. Hopefully she'll let me know the moment she gets back, the moment she calls back.
Can you hear me?
Hey, B. Wiley. Yes.
I'm here. I guess you couldn't hear me, girl. I'm steady talking.
Well, I couldn't. Welcome back.
The devil's trying to stop you from telling me how I'm going to find how my husband going to find me. He's trying to stop it, sis. You ain't going to stop this show.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to find me, devil. He's going to find me, and I need to hear this testimony now.
He most definitely will. He most definitely will be watching. And so I believe I left off with, that he prayed. Yeah, my husband prayed. He prays all the time, and he even told me that, he prays, he prayed for me even before he met me, And he also let me know that, he also let me know, he was like, listen, we are not going to have any private one-on-one time anywhere, and we are not married. He said, I did not meet you or come to you just, to date you. No, I'm looking to marry you. This is like, when I say, girl, and see this, it reminds me of back in biblical days. You know what I mean? Because our Creator instilled in men, to know who their wife is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when that man finds his wife, he knows her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no need to. You know what I mean? There's no need to play around. There's no need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no need to have, that, let me see if she could be a thought, because I don't want this and I don't want that. No. If a man really is ready for marriage, he already knows if whether or not you are his wife. And if he has determined within himself that you are not his wife, a real man would not waste any time. He wouldn't waste your time, and he would not always his because he is on a mission to find his wife. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so,
yeah.
And oh my gosh, B. Wiley, the last time when you were on the show, when you were talking about, how a man, should be, he'll call you all the time and, he'll make sure that you know that you are a priority on his list. When you were dead on with that thing. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait for a text message. As a matter of fact, he didn't even text me. He called me. I was like, what's calling me all the time? This was new to me.
Exactly.
It was foreign to me. I was sitting up here thinking something was wrong. I'm like, why are you calling me all the time?
Because that's what men do. That's what men do. They don't sit around and ignore text and drag behind. Shoot.
Yes. And I thought that it was over for me. Do you hear me? I'm 38 years old, okay? And I'm not saying that I'm too old or too young, but everybody gets to a point in their life where they feel like, well, I'm too old, and it just ain't going to work for me. The devil is a lie.
Sure is.
Flat
out. I'm too old. I'm 38 too. I'm fresh in my prime. Let's get it. Let's have about 10 more kids. I'm just kidding. But I'm young and ready for a husband.
Yes.
Oh,
and I'm gonna tell y'all, like seriously, if you really want a husband, there have people that have been on the show that were single, and we were talking about marriage, and I'm thinking of a young lady right now, honey, and she is married to this day, and she'll tell anybody.
She met somebody on the show.
She didn't meet him on the show, but he came into her life. He found her. And they ended up getting married. Yeah. She got married before I did. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? How did you get married before I did?
Girl, I'm hidden. Right now, I'm hidden.
Me too.
Yeah. Come on, speak it.
So he gonna have to find me.
You ain't hidden. No.
I'm hidden in plain sight. Girl, I'm hidden in plain sight. These men see me and they watch me like TV. And they don't approach me because they ain't my husband. So when I meet my husband, he'll approach me. So until then, I will be hidden in plain sight, and I'm okay with that. Because if they come with that nonsense, I'm going to politely and respectfully shut them down. I look forward to it. So don't test me.
Absolutely.
So
and all
that's my hobby.
About, excuse me, there's a lot of men that are like, they go off of what they think, their wife should be, but it's only according to a fleshly or selfish kind of
self-serving.
Desire. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What she should, where she should work, what she should dress. You know what I mean? Where she should do that. Now, mind you, I'm not a provocative dresser or anything like that. So, like, even if you go on my social media or whatever, I'm not wearing, like, my booty ain't out. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not wearing bras, and I'm, even in my pictures or whatever, when I pose and stuff like that, it's not like I'm begging for sex or sexual attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody would look at my social media and would not even be able to tell what kind of body type I have or anything like that. And I'm quite sure the man that my husband is, if I did have posts like that, he wouldn't have considered me. You know what I mean? Like, he probably would have been like, no, I know that's not her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I'm not even saying that you have to be perfect, because I'm certainly not. You know what I mean? But men have the gift to cultivate.
Yeah.
Your husband should be able to cultivate you. Adam cultivated Eve to be his helpmeet. Eve came here, didn't know nothing. She didn't know nothing. So, in my opinion, a real man would not even want, where you work at shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't determine if whether or not he accepts you or believes that you could be his wife or not. You could be working at Mickey D's. A real man would not care. He will love you and your Mickey D's working self.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's right.
And a man would love you for who you are, but not just that. Your husband will bring out the best of you and then help you realize who you really are.
And that's all I'm saying.
That's what my husband does for me. He
I ain't
helps
never
me
met a
become
man
the
that
queen
did that
that I
for me.
already am.
Promotion.
You know what I'm saying? I
Soon as
couldn't
y'all
wear
get
those
together,
tank
you
tops no
promoted.
more than show my bra. Baby, listen. He was like, oh, he called me Shavon. Oh, Shavon. Like, he was so heartbroken. I said, oh, you know what? Let me straighten up and fly right now. See, a woman who is not modest probably would have gotten offended by that. But see, I know that in my heart I am a queen. And so he said that to me, I knew that the way I dressed, having the tank top on, even I just threw it on because I was tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a queen. I'd rather have the mindset of a queen and always carry myself as such. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be a woman that represents my husband right.
Oh, yeah.
I never want my husband to have to hear somebody say something negative about me that I misrepresented my husband when I know my husband is a king. You understand what I'm saying? So dressing and behaving provocatively like these people, like these women portray, that's how you're supposed to be in these videos and all this or whatever, honey. They only teach the young people how to live like trash. Think of yourself as trash, as if you are not worth nothing but to lay on your back and have babies. You know what I mean? That's basically what they are portraying.
Woo.
And so I'm telling you, that's one of my soul missions in life is to create a legacy where young ladies and women can find some hope. You know what I mean? And being and being like a queen for real, because that's who we really are. We're not thought. You know what I mean? We're not whores. We're not. You know, that's not who we are. That's what society tries to tell us, but that is definitely not who we are. B. Wiley, do you want to say something?
B. Wiley want to make sure y'all know where to find me on YouTube, Twitter,
let them know.
Instagram, B.Space WILEY. I am an author. I'm a communications coach. My book, Hello, My Name is Single, Ready to Mingle, is on Amazon. You can get it as an ebook or a soft copy. Right now, if you're in the St. Louis area, I am putting together my seminar. It's strictly for the ladies. It will happen in November, and it will be all about upliftment, empowerment, and the 3 S's to successfully solve single, self-care, self-development, self-reliance. So, if you're interested in me and want to know what I have going on, and if you want to book me, feel free to look me up. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, B. Wiley. If you want to know how to communicate to your child, if you want to know how to communicate a higher pay grade at your job, if you want to know how to communicate to your peer who isn't really a good friend, or if you want to know how to communicate just to be a professional speaker, get at me. I can teach you. I have a degree in it. So I play no games. So hit me up, B. Wiley.
Yes, absolutely. B. Wiley doing big things out here in this world, honey. And listen, this is my new friend. I want to let every man know. If you're gonna come, you better come correct, and you're gonna have to go through me. Okay.
You got it, girl. So cute.
Even segue right there.
Right. And the same goes with Miss Tamika Jones. Tamika, would you like to tell the audience how to find you?
No.
She don't want to be found.
I don't want to be
found. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. If you want to find her, find me to find her, okay?
You better ask Jesus. You better ask Jesus for order. You better ask Jesus for order and direction to find Tamika. And he will find you. He will lead you on the way. He's a lamp to my feet, to Tamika.
Would you like to have some closing remarks, B. Wiley?
The closing remarks are sister girl. I know what you see on TV is booty and boobies. But guess what? If what you really want is a husband that's going to respect you and treat you more than what your vagina can offer him temporarily, then you got to get your mindset right. You got to get focused on what your purpose is and be passionate about it. And once you are on that road with your blinders on, your successful mate will align with you and fall in line with you. If you refuse to not follow your purpose and dress like a whore, you will be treated like one, and your body count will be major, and you will feel like you're a piece of meat, because that's what men will continue to be disrespectful and treat you as you walk in life. So I know it's hard. It ain't hard for me, but I'm a grown woman. I done mastered this thing. I got discipline. I know it may be quote-unquote hard to not feed your flesh, but if you feed your spirit, it can get you a whole lot further than what your flesh has to temporarily offer you. What your spirit can give you is a lifelong, and after you transition to the afterlife, even more grace and even more glory after the fact, versus what your spirit and what the enemy is trying to trick you and coerce you into, which is disease, outside babies, daddies who ain't around, all that nonsense. So, sister girl, get your mind right and get your paper up and ask what a dude got to say, and let his action show you that he is wanting to be with you long term and ain't trying to take from you. He's trying to add to you. All right, I'm B. Wiley. Thank you.
Period. Period. I told you she goes in now. She goes in. I'm a novice, young professional. No.
Girl.
Tamika like,
oh, shoot.
You come on with all your wisdom. She said, Miss B. Wiley said. Okay.
Well, thank you, because I preach, and I'm going to preach. So y'all follow me, because I will hold it down. And do not let fear. Do not let fear that you can't get this dude or get a better-looking dude or do what you got. I'm sick of us and fear. Stop letting fear lead the way and fog your memory and cloud your judgment. Get yourself some self-respect and do what you got to do for you, and that man that God has for you will align with you, period. And guess what? I'm sleeping good tonight. Want to know why I sleep good every night? Because I ain't sitting up thinking about no dude who don't want me or a dude who just screwed me last night and didn't call me this morning, period. So there we are.
Period. Baby, they have so much
and I'm
in
done.
your life when you ain't got to deal with the BS.
You sure do. And peace overrides everything. Sure do.
Because some of us, honey, or some of us are missing out on our husbands, too busy worrying about so-and-so that ain't text or called us back. Hello.
Right. Ain't calling you back. He on to the next.
I'd like to thank you both. You have both been spectacular. I have enjoyed myself. You woke me up, the both of you. The both of you.
Sure. I woke myself up
honey,
from the dead.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Honey, I am full and blessed. I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in to Let's Talk Show right here on Elations Radio, where we are striving to change the world one show at a time. Everybody take it easy until next time. That is next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a blessed and wonderful night. Good night.
Bye-bye.